Hey, what's up YouTube? Marcus Bird here, and this is probably like my first YouTube rant of sorts. Now, first things first, I live in Kingston, Jamaica, which means that when you're making a purchasing decision to bring anything into the island, it costs money. So, YouTube reviews are very important. The good and the bad of a camera or equipment or whatever you need to bring in, right? So that's the context I'm starting with. When I watch reviews on the G7X, the new Canon camera, or old Canon camera since they have the new one out, basically every review was a glowing review. Said this camera is awesome. A lot of people said it could be a replacement or temporary replacement for like a bigger camera, whatever, right? I was looking at the camera just for vlogging alone. Can it take good video? Is it reliable? That kind of thing. Now, most of the reviews I saw kind of said it was just this good camera. I saw shots taken with the camera, it seemed to be fine. And everybody touted this tap to focus feature, which is cool but kind of gimmicky. But most people failed to mention that the autofocus on this camera is pretty bad. Really bad. It just doesn't keep things in focus. I'm in focus right now because I've locked the focus. So I've locked the focus between the lens and my face. But generally, man, if you're shooting video, the background can be sharp and then you're fuzzy, and then you're sharp and then the background is fuzzy, and it just happens at will. Like, I don't know why. This destroys the vlogging experience completely because you never know when you're going to be able to focus, and it's something that you don't want to think about. The very point of vlogging is to capture moments without thinking about it. But if you're constantly like, am I in focus, and you have to tap the screen, it messes up a shot, and some shots you can't get twice. No one said the autofocus was as terrible. Or maybe there are reviews and I found them late, So terrible autofocus. I can't believe I watched so many reviews and no one said the camera had a really bad autofocus. Alright, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that the camera it produces really bad footage when you have image stabilization on. It creates this ghosting effect that makes everything shake, while it's trying to stabilize the footage. It looks terrible because the footage becomes unusable. So if I'm walking through, look at this example I'm showing you. So I'm walking in the shot, I'm walking through the stadium, and I'm kind of walking and talking, and everybody's ghosting in and out. It was driving me crazy. Basically, if you want to shoot footage without getting that effect, you have to turn image stabilization off. Crazy. It's really bad. I can't believe no one pointed that out, that you have so much motion blur with the image stabilization. I even Googled it and I couldn't find anything. Next thing. When you shoot with a camera at night at 30 frames per second, it turns everything into clay. It airbrushes everything to the point of ridiculousness, where people don't look real anymore. Buildings, trees, everything just has this weird painted look. And I know there's like some kind of noise reduction filter in the software, but come on, man, it makes everything look terrible. When I had this camera, where's my last camera? Where are you, buddy? When I had this camera, which is a $60 camera, it never gave me these problems. If I'm in a low light situation, I just turn up the exposure. It always held focus. And if you shoot at night, people look the same. They don't look like ghosts from a 1990s FMV movie. Sorry, FMV sequence or dream sequence. I can't believe it. So what you have to do is you have to shoot at 60 frames a second, which triples your file size, pretty much. So if you have a vlog and you expect your vlog to be 500 megabytes, it goes up to 1.5, 1.8. It's insane. So there's that. And I'm just telling you, man, it's just driving me crazy because I can't vlog properly. There's no guarantee I'll stay in focus if I'm on auto. None. So I just want people to know about this, you know what I'm saying? It does take good pictures. It has some cool features or whatever, but just as a regular vlogging camera, you don't want to be walking and worrying if you're in focus. You don't want to be like in a low light situation where you just turn on the camera and press record and then everybody looks like clay or just airbrushed, you know what I mean? And I did not know about these things before. Camera is messing up right now. I got the camera because I didn't see them anywhere. I didn't see anything highlighting these weird effects, talking about the bad image stabilization. In fact, every review I saw basically lauded the camera, saying it has great image stabilization, takes great low light footage. And some of the examples I saw were in very static scenarios. It wasn't really people walking at night with a camera. It was more like somebody driving on a super smooth road, and I was like, okay, that looks cool. Or somebody like, you know, with the camera on a tripod shooting something at a distance. That's fine. But if you're a vlogger and you're doing something dynamic and you're getting motion blur, it just destroys your footage. So motion blur, claymation people, bad autofocus. I mean, why? This camera is $600, man. This camera, when it was out, I think cost 100 and something, right? I got it for 60. But I'm saying, why does this camera like do everything it's supposed to, and the big one I'm shooting with right now can't? When I'm shooting with this right now, I have to lock the focus. I'm always jumping between modes. I'm always paranoid about the camera going out of focus. End of rant.